Hello everyone, my name is the Emerald or Emerald for short, and today we're going to be doing something I should have done earlier this week, but never got around to it. The 2.6 leaks mainly focused around Rappa, the new 5-star character coming in. Now, I'm going to preface this now by saying 2.6 is the dead patch. This is by far the biggest. Please just say it through this entire patch. Nothing here is really interesting. Rappa is the only new character we're actually getting, so there's no new 4-star or something. And honestly, Rappa herself is not a must get, so you're honestly better off saving unless you really like the character. So, without further ado, let's just go right into the kit. So here is everything that we know of that she needs. We'll just give it a little bit here for this. There is a new boss coming out on 2.6, so you can't fully farm this. I believe that should be a new boss. I have to check again, but I don't remember this item in the game right now, so there's that. But everything that you can farm, she needs a Sunday weekly material. She uses the erudition path from Pinacani. There's that, and yada yada. E3 is the domain expansion, which is pretty sick if you ask me, so that's pretty cool. But if I remember correctly, Rappa is supposed to be a ninja, like, rapper girl. And it's pretty funny. She's also part of the Galaxy Rangers, same with Boot Hill, who is pretty cool. So there's that. I will probably put in the thumbnail that this character is just like Mori Calliope from Hololive. If you don't know who that is, maybe that's a good thing. So, like I said, Rappa is, maybe I didn't say this, Rappa is a 5-star imaginary erudition character, so automatically she has very little value to provide. So keep going. Here are the essential materials, the trace materials you saw. Her stats: she has about 1000 base HP, 640 base attack, 460 base defense, 102 speed, and 05 taunt. Honestly, pretty average. 102 speed for an erudition character is alright, but a little bit higher. It's fine. We'll come back to the Eidolons a little bit later. Same with the traces. But all you need to know is she does get 9 speed, so she is at 111, which is still okay. That's right. If you give her speed boost, she reaches 136. So that can be something. She gets a 28% attack and 13.3% break effect. That break effect isn't a matter. Now, at the time of writing this, it is currently Friday the 13th. Wow, that worked out. So we should be getting version 2 sometime on the 16th or the 17th. I think the 16th it should be coming out. So this is all liable to change, and I really hope it does, because there's a lot wrong with the character, but we'll get into that later. So skills: base attack to average. The enhanced base attack, we'll come back to this when we do the ultimate, because it helps a lot here. Skill is average. It just does imaginary damage to all enemies. And then we go to the ultimate. 160 energy cost. This is the highest energy to cast the ultimate naturally. So, okay. The only characters that have higher energy requirements, there's Yun Li, Firefly, and Argentine. Argentine only needs 90 to proc the first part of the ultimate, so you can get around it. And his ultimate costs 180 anyway, so it's a 20 energy more for like a strong ultimate. Yun Li can activate her ultimate at 120 and it can stack twice over, so up to 240, so there's that. And Firefly gets 6% of her energy from the skill alone, so that works out. This character has 100% energy and not any fast way of gaining a lot of energy, so that's that. So the ultimate, she enters a seal form state, immediately gains an extra turn and 3 points of chroma egg. At the same time, increase weakness break efficiency by 50% and break effect by 10%, up to 40% when you fully max it. While in seal form, enhance basic attack but cannot use the skill in ultimate. After using the enhanced basic attack, consume 1 point of chroma ink, and when it's depleted, you exit the seal form state. So if we go back, this is the enhanced basic attack here. You launch the Ningu Demon Blade Petal Blade. Demon Blade Petal Blade, ugh, that's a mouthful. The first 2 hits deal imaginary damage equal to 6% or 95% max of Rappa's attack to one designated enemy unit, and imaginary damage equal to 30% or 47% at max of Rappa's attack to adjacent targets. And then the final hit deals damage the same amount of damage from this first hit to all enemies. When attacking enemies that don't have magic weakness, enhanced base attack can still deal toughness reduction equal to 50% of the original toughness reduction, but is unable to recover skill points. This wording, I definitely think is going to change to version 2, because when you read it, you think, oh, so you will get your skill points back if you hit someone with magic weakness. I don't think that's the case. I think you just don't get skill points at all. I had to look back at the video. There's animations out, but I'm obviously not going to play them for my own sake. I'd rather not get hit with like the copyright DMCA shit. So, but you can look it up on YouTube. It's everywhere, and I would honestly say you should, just to see her gameplay. I've only seen 2 videos on her, and she looks so I'll have to wait and see. So there's that. Her breaking weakness triggers the imaginary weakness break effect. And then her talent, Ninja Tech Endurance Gauge. Whenever enemy's target's weakness is broken, she deals 10 tough reduction that ignores weakness type to adjacent targets and deals break damage equal to 120 or 210% max of Rappa's imaginary break damage. The toughness reducing effect works only on enemy targets that are not yet weakness broken, and when breaking weakness, you trigger the imaginary weakness effect. So from all of that, she's made to break a nerd, and everyone around that enemy that you break starts losing weakness too. It's not a lot though, it's only 10, which is very low, if you ask me. 10 is not the highest in the world. Especially since you have to you have to break it once. Like you break once, and then you have to go somewhere else. So this is a unit that you can't use the ultimate on like one elite enemy. You're not supposed to focus on the elite enemy. You're supposed to focus on the small enemies around them to break everyone else around you. So that's that. We'll backpedal to the traces. Ninjutsu Inscription Sky High. When an enemy's target weakness gets broken, Rappa regenerates 2 energy, and if it's an elite enemy, she just regenerates 8 energy. I would honestly like that to be higher, or the ults to be lower energy cost, because this is not enough. Especially if you're not fighting like a bunch of enemies in one given moment. Ninjutsu Inscription Sea Echo. During seal form, after Rappa uses enhanced base tech deal damage to a weakness broken enemy, you convert the toughness reduction from this instance to 1 instance 60% to break damage. That's fine. And when an enemy target's weakness get broken, you increase the break damage it takes by 3%. This value is additionally increased by 1% for every 100 of Rappa's current attack that exceeds 2,000, up to max additional increase of 12%. This effect lasts for 2 turns. So I remember, I think I read this wrong. Yeah, I read this wrong. I thought it was, okay, you're taking into account this, and actually, no, reading it, I think it's supposed to be like this. So I think to get the max, you need 3,200 attack, I think, to get the max of this. We'll come back to this and see why this is a problem. We'll come back to this, see what's a problem, and then we'll go look at we're also gonna pull up Firefly in a little bit, and to prove that this character is not exactly the greatest. Idlond E1 returned as the Revenant with no fairy toll. Thick ass name. During the seal form state entered by using ultimate, damage dealt by Rappa ignores 50% of the target's defense, and after exiting the seal form state, regenerates 20 energy. E1 is a must. You get more energy, and that's really necessary because all her damage comes from the ultimate. So, that. Free is the mind enlightened by haikus. During seal form, break effect additionally increased by 10%, and the touch reducing effect enhanced base attack against enemies without magic weakness additionally increased by 50%. You also kind of need this because once 2.6 ends and we don't get imaginary enemies when they're weak to it, she becomes kind of bad, right? But then again, the moment you fight any enemy that doesn't have small adds around them, it kind of gets annoying. E4, lost to the Nindo, devoured by time. During seal form, increases all party unit speed by 12%. Honestly, kind of whatever. It's not bad, but going out of your way for that's kind of iffy. Righteous and E6, Righteous, the wrath that spares no evil. The break damage multiplier and talent's effect on adjacent targets increased by 120%. Moreover, the break effect dealt and the toughness reducing effect inflicted will also apply to all enemy targets besides the weakness broken target. So what this is basically saying is not only will the break damage just increase to hell, but now that break damage and the toughness reducing effect from talent will now go to every enemy instead of just the surrounding enemies, which I think is pretty good. So overall, this character is a very, let's just go with break heavy character. It's a break. It's another break character, right? We'll come back to the second of why it's a big problem. Technique: ninja dash by leaps and bounds. After using technique, enters the graffiti state for 20 seconds. While in graffiti, Rappa will move forward rapidly for a set distance and attack any enemy. Just increase a little bit. Attack any enemy's touch. During the rapid movement, can block all enemies' incoming attacks. While in graffiti, using attacks can end the duration early. After entering combat by activating attacking enemies, ignores weakness type to deal 30 toughness reduction to each enemy target. Deals break damage to 20% of Rappa's imaginary break damage to the targets, and deals break damage equal to 180% of Rappa's imaginary break damage to the adjacent targets. At the same time, you get 20 energy for the unit. So if you have if you get 20 energy showing up, you get 30 toughness. Like, this technique is really good. This is probably the best part of the character's kit. Doing all of this on show up is really good. So there's that. We'll talk about our light cone now. This light cone I really like a lot. It's really cool. But I think the light cone itself is kind of shit. Here it is. Ninjutsu Inscription, Dazzling Evil Breaker, which is 5-star edition. And the effect is Exorcism. Also, by the way, these stats are the exact same as Jade's signature light cone, so keep that in mind. Exorcism increased the wearer's break effect by 60%, up to 100%. When entering battle, immediately regenerates 30 energy, 40 at max, but max it kind of wild. After the wearer uses ultimate, gains light tone. After 2 basic attacks, advance the wearer's action by 50%, up to 70% max, and removes light tone. Afterwards, ultimate resets light tone. The first half of this part, where the break effect and the energy, solid, really good. You get 50 energy if you use technique and showing up, which is good. The second part's kind of shit. I don't really get why this happens. Like, why is it not even a full action event? Right? There's no reason not to use a full action event, in my opinion. I don't really see a reasoning for that. So I kind of wish that was the case. Or at the very least, maybe if it's like, if it was all, after you use all 3 of them, maybe it's like, okay, if you use 1 base attack, you boost up by like 25%, right? Maybe 30%, right? And after this end, after you use the last one, you then go up by 50%. That would have been a little better, I think, because this is like, oh yeah, when you do that, yada yada. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I'm really not the biggest fan of the second part. And I hope they change it to something else. They probably won't, but we can hope. So quickly, we will go over everything here, the rest of the stuff. This is the new free-to-play light cone that's coming out. It is the 4-star Destruction Ninja Record Sound Hunt. Increase the wearer's max HP by 12%, and when losing HP or restoring HP, increases crit damage by 8% up to 30%. Lasts for 2 turns. This effect can literally once per turn. This is a blade light cone through and through. I can't think of anyone else who actually uses this kind of thing, because crit damage is not a big thing on, weirdly enough, on a lot of destruction characters. When you look back at it. So if we pull up this, if we pull up destruction here, as you can see, the only one that I can see, Blade, obviously. So you can't say Jingo because she takes other people's HP, and also she doesn't need HP herself. Yumi doesn't need HP. Firefly definitely doesn't need either HP or crit. Misha doesn't need that. That's Trailblazer, okay. Shui doesn't need it. Maybe Arlen. Maybe. If you're coping hard enough. Yeah, this is the Blade Light Cone through and through. Through and through, this is the Blade Light Cone. It's okay, but honestly, I think we need something else. But it's fine. And here is the new Gacha 4-star Light Cone. I believe this guy's name is Rekka, I think. So here's the Light Cone Dreams Montage, 4-star Abundance. Academy Style Edit, increase the wearer's speed by 8%, up to 12% at max. After attacking enemy targets that are weakness broken, regenerates 3 to 5 energy, depending on if you max or not. This effect can trigger up to 2 times per turn. This is honestly pretty solid. This is a really solid light cone for like Gallagher. Right, Gallagher can really use this a lot because he takes 2 actions when you ult. So that's really good here. It's also not too bad for just like some other characters, I think. Like Ho can kind of use this for some energy, though I think at that point Quick Pro can be used. Lynx is okay. Natasha is okay. Like there's you can make it work, right? It's not the worst thing ever. There's worse out there. So there's that. New chat box coming out with event that gets alongside there's a main event which is like a sound hunt event. Alongside this, you get a chat box, pretty cool. We are getting 2 new relic sets. Scholar Lost in Erudition and Sacredos's Relived Ordeal. I don't know how to say that first one. So honestly, both are really good. This first one increases crit rate by 6%, which is really huge. I believe this is the first crit rate 2-piece that we have in the game, outside of like Panorama, right? Like for a relic set, this is the first crit rate set that we have, which is pretty solid. And then 4-piece, increase damage dealt by ultimate and skill by 20%. After using ultimate addition, increase the damage dealt by the next skill by 20%. This is really good for someone like Jinglio. This is probably Jinglio's new best set. Gives her crit rate, but different ultimate skill. Just overall really good. Not a bad set at all. Then this one, 2-piece, increase speed by 6%, so already on the speed set. And then 4-piece, when using skill or ultimate on one party target, increase the target's crit damage by 20%, lasts for 2 turns. This effect can stack up to 2 times. This is now probably best in slot for Sparkle. So, if you're like me, you're gonna have so much fun speed tuning this. But yeah, this is a really good set. Most supports can actually, you can also use this on Ting Yun to be like a somewhat pseudo Sparkle. Really good, like overall, relics overall. Both are really good. Honestly, I would say you should start farming a little bit of both. Mainly for this set because it's useful for a good chunk of Harmony characters, but this one's also not too bad either for future characters. And then this is just something that was shown in leaks. I'm not 100% certain if it's true, but I'm gonna put it here anyway, just in case. Apparently starting from 2.6, we should be getting the event light cones in the Herda store. So if you missed out on them the first time, you can get them here. Hallelujah. We haven't seen them. I believe it should cost 8 for each light cone and their maxed out super imposition. So there's that. So yeah, there's BTTMS and this thing. Hey, over here with its superposition, and for Tomorrow's Journey with the Clockwork. We might also see the Sound Hunt, this one, go into it when the event goes away. So this is pretty cool. Being able to just have these in shop and buy if you missed out is really good. But yeah, overall some really nice stuff. But going back to the main issue at hand here, this character's not all that great. Don't get me wrong, I love Rappa. I really do like her, and I am going to pull for her. I will. But this character is trying to be what Firefly was, but as an erudition character. And it fails miserably, right? So, for one thing, she has high, and I mean high energy costs for no real reason, right? Like, a lot of this screams to me, hey, you want a Firefly alternative? Here's the Firefly alternative. And it's not great, right? Like, look how much they have in actually similar to each other, right? They have they have an ultimate that enhances themselves, right? And the ultimate itself costs like a hell of a lot of energy, but for both of them, right? They both have a way of dealing toughness damage, even if they don't have the weakness applied to them, which is really good. And they're both break-based. They are both break-based in their own unique way. And there's here's like the toughest done from there. And then there's some super break in there. All that, right? The problem with this, one problem is this, like I said, the ultimate costs way too much for this character, especially since all their forms of ways of getting energy are locked behind other stuff you have to summon for, like the light code or E1, which is not great, right? Remember, this is a break-based character, so you most likely will not be running characters like Tingyun or Popo. So there's that. Another thing I think is this one of the traces. This trace right here. This trace is kind of stupid, right? So the reason this Firefly is something similar, but it's better. The reason Firefly can go for attack is because they increase her break effect which is just her overall total damage, right? Because she goes based on break effect. You will gain not much from actually getting attacked because you're break based, right? You're increasing the break damage it takes, but to increase the break damage it take, you have to increase your attack, which is questionable at best. Remember, you need to reach 3200, assuming this is right, to even like reach like the max. Don't forget, reach 50% increased break effect. Boom. Now, obviously, you don't have to reach as much. I honestly think this is way too much. I honestly say like 2600 is fine, right? But this passive doesn't make sense in those grand scheme of things, considering that she doesn't get the most attack ever. This will help. This attack percentage will help a lot, but you're probably building more into break, like the super break set, right? And like the break effect relic planar ornament set, like all that. So having all of this just doesn't make sense in my opinion. So I don't really get it. I really don't, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. So there's that. And honestly, this is my thing. I get why they didn't do it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I really wish the skill applied magic weakness. Really wish it did. Because again, yes, while she can still do toughness reduction on their basic attack, it's doing like very low blasts and like AoEs. The toughness reduction is not that high. It's not. And against one major enemy, it's not grand. So I would, and if you want the highest, you need E2, which is not fun either. I get why though, because if she would apply her own weakness on skill or something, the Harmony Trailblaze becomes like one of the best characters in the game for her. So they don't want to do it. They think that will be too busted. And honestly, I can see why, but I think the character needs it. I really do. There's a lot more problems. I had a list here, but this character is not the greatest in the world. I'm hoping that the beta change for version 2 change it. So yeah, I kind of wish the super break. This is a pet peeve. I kind of wish this break effect was a little bit increased, but that's not the biggest deal. Lower the ult cost. That's what I think. I think this has to be lowered. This ult cost has to be hella lowered. It's too high. It's just too high. I think 140. Maybe even I'll even take 150. I just don't like 160. But I don't know. And the light cone is a joke. I think the light cone's a joke. The first half is fine. The second half is a joke, bro. And the worst part is, I think you do need it, because if you look at erudition, remember, you don't have a lot of options here, right? So today's another peaceful day is actually one of the better light cones you can run, but this is paid, right? Because it actually gets the max amount of what's it called? She actually gets the full passive out of it. So she'll get the full like 80%, not the 80%. It's not 80%. It's what is it? It's 32%. Yeah, it's 32%. Yes. I was like this. No, it's not that high. 32% increased damage. It's honestly not too bad. The only problem is it doesn't give you energy, break effect, anything along this line, which you do kind of need for the character. And I'll say that you don't really have anything else. She's not a crit-based character. She is. The honest make the world clamor is honestly not too bad, but the ultimate, the second part is worthless. So the moment you show up in battle, it's now completely worthless. So there's that, and then your next best odds might be Eternal Calculus, maybe, but that gives a lot of attack, so I don't know. Eternal Calculus is probably next, and then After Eternity Fall. If you use I think After Eternity Fall was made in response to Rappa being coming out early, because look, it gives you break effect and extra speed. But remember, this was a this was a gotcha light cone. So some of you might not even have this. This came out with Jade's banner. So a good chunk of people probably don't have this light cone. So your next best option is to get this. And I doubt they rerun this that fast, so like who are they gonna rerun this with? There's no I assume with Misha. No, not Misha. They have to rerun it with like Serval. Or even Chingtre. Because there's no other characters they can do. Erudition is a joke, man. I've said this before and I'll keep saying it. There should be no reason we keep dropping characters for Erudition. Erudition is just, it's trying to be what Destruction is, and it's not doing well. Like, I'm not saying they are completely useless right now because pure fiction exists, but we have to realize that again, pure fiction came out. I think it came out as a response to Air Edition being complete dog water, right? It came out after Argentine released, and then everyone was like, because Argentine released, he was like, okay, he's okay, but like he doesn't really have a lot of application, right? And then when Pure Fiction came out, oh, now all the characters are suddenly good. I was maybe like Serval in some cases, and Ching Trip if you're unlucky, because he's too gambly, but all these characters are like, if you don't have like a very specific setup or it's not Pure Fiction, they will not thrive. I don't really know. I don't really understand the entire thing of this, but hey, hopefully she does get changed in 2.6. The version 2 changes. I'm praying because I really do like this character a lot and I do want to be able to use her effectively. But as it stands, might not be able to. I'll even have Ron May, which sucks a lot because there's no other weakness break efficiency support in the game. So we'll have to see how that goes. I don't know who I'm going to use as like a filler spot. I might honestly use Ting Yun for the attack increase and the energy. That's probably what I'll do. But yeah, that is it for this video. It's a lot longer than I thought it'd be, but that's just because of this character. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments if you are going to search for this character, though I think I know what the answer is. So there's that. Hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.